Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Brown. I come to you today with another story. I'm hoping that you received this piece of paper that I sent, and I just wanted to see if any of you colored and cut it out, and if you didn't, that's okay. We're going to be working with this paper today, so even if you have it, you can always just put it in front of you and go through it with me, and if you have them all cut out, we'll go through and put them into the story. So today we're going to be working on a story called A Very Clumsy Click Beetle, okay? And it's by Carle, and a lot of you already know Carle with A Very Hungry Caterpillar, the play that you're doing with Miss Martin, the Very Busy Spider, any of those. So you can always tell Carle's books because the illustrations or the pictures are all quite similar. So he has that certain way of drawing. So you may remember this from a lot of your other books you've been reading. So today we're working on a click beetle. So I wanted you to think for a minute, how many of you might know what a click beetle is? So if you don't know what a click beetle is, let's think. Do you maybe know what a beetle is? Good, it seems like most of you would know what a beetle is. So a beetle looks like this. It's usually like a black or a brown color. Obviously it's a lot smaller. It's really a tiny, smaller insect. It's not this big. But the click beetle actually, some of them can be this colorful, okay? But some of them look like regular beetles, like a black or a brown beetle. So this click beetle in the story, the reason he's a click beetle is he actually has something in his body that makes him click. And it makes him go into the air and flip over. So if he's ever on his back and he needs to turn over, he can just fly into the air, making a loud clicking sound, and turn and land on his feet, okay? But sometimes when they're young, they don't have that clicking just yet, so they have to learn how to use it. And that's kind of what this story's about. It's about a young click beetle, and all he wants to do is be able to use his clicker and be able to fly into the air and flip over, okay? So we usually talk about the setting of where the story takes place before we start, but as you can see by this cover, it doesn't really tell us where the story's going to take place. But I bet you can think about it and think, where would a beetle live, right? So probably on the ground, outside, hopefully outside, not in your house, but they're small. But he could live anywhere, kind of, just even outside your house today. All right. The very clumsy click beetle. Again, the hungry caterpillar. All right. So the first page we have. One fine morning, a young click beetle decided to go for a walk. At noon, it climbed up and down a flower. See where he is right here? On each page, see if you can find him. See how he's climbing up the flower right there? In the afternoon, it rummaged through a pile of pebbles. See him way up here? In the evening, it crawled among the tall blades of grass. And when it turned night, the young click beetle crept up a tree. After a while, it got tired and fell to the ground, but it landed on its back. So the young click beetle tried very hard to turn over onto its feet, but it couldn't. Help, he cried, help. Look who heard him. All along, a wise old click beetle had been watching the young click beetle. Tomorrow morning I will teach you how to click and flip through the air and land on your feet, said the wise old click beetle. In the meantime, you may as well go to sleep. Good night. So he left him there. But he returned the next day, and guess what? The click beetle was still on its back. The next morning, the wise old click beetle said, "Look at me. This is how it's done." First, it turned onto its back, and then with a loud click. Remember, he's supposed to land on his feet, but he landed. Oh, actually, this is the wise click beetle. The wise click beetle showed him how to land on his feet. It flipped through the air and landed on its feet. Now you try, said the wise old click beetle. Thank you. That looks easy, replied the young click beetle. Just then, an earthworm stuck its head up out of the ground. Look at me, said the young click beetle, and with a loud click, it flipped through the air, and he met a turtle. But it landed on its back. How very clumsy of me, said the young click beetle. Just then, a turtle ambled by. Better luck next time, said the turtle. Keep on trying. Look at me, said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, he tried to flip through the air, but he landed on his back. But the snail saw him. How very clumsy of me, said the young click beetle. But just then a snail slithered by. Don't worry, said the snail. You'll get there. Look at me, said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, he flipped through the air, but landed on his back again. How very clumsy of me, said the young click beetle. But just then a mouse scurried by. You need a little more practice, said the mouse. Look at me, said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, he flipped through the air and he landed on his back again. But this time, can you see what's coming? What are these? Anyone know? You're right, they look like feet. But we have to think for a minute. So what would happen if this foot gets closer to this click beetle? Probably nothing good for the click beetle because he can't move because he's on his back. So he can't run away. He landed on his back and just then he said, "Oh, what is this?" The young click beetle had never seen anything so big. It could not move and it was so scared. What should he do? He can't move. So, click, 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 and flip, cried the wise old click beetle, who was watching him. He was encouraging him to say, "You can do it, you can do it." And look what the boy's trying to do. He's trying to get him. And all of a sudden, the young click beetle said, "I can do it," and did you hear that? I'll play it again. The young click beetle said, "Watch me, look what he can do." He's on his back, but all of a sudden he goes, and look what happened. The young click beetle clicked and flipped through the air, but this time it did 3 graceful somersaults, and he landed on his, you got it, feet, right there. He landed on his feet. "Look at you," shouted the wise old click beetle. "You have done it." Do you want to hear the clicking again? Because you guys usually like to hear that. Ready? So when he was here, he got the confidence, he was scared, and all of a sudden he went, and he landed on his feet. And he just needed that little bit of confidence in the wise old click beetle helping him out. So I was thinking, when maybe there's a time in your life that you kind of needed a little push, maybe from mom and dad, the wise old click beetles. Maybe when you've tried to swim before, and you don't want to go in the water, and mom and dad probably say, you can do it, but it seems scary, just like the wise old click beetle. Or maybe trying to ride a bike. There's another one. Sometimes when you try to ride a bike, you know you might fall or something, but you keep trying and you keep trying. So whatever you're thinking of doing while you're home, maybe keep practicing it, keep trying it, and you too can be like the little click beetle. So let's go to our paper. So those of you that were able to color and cut this out, we are going to try to put them on a board, or even if you have a piece of paper in front of you, I'd like you to split it into 3 sections. Okay, so it should look like this. So I'm going to separate it into the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the end of the story. Okay, but I'm going to do it in a little different way this time. The beginning of the story was all about the setting, all kind of about where it took place. So those pieces I'm going to make sure all are kind of have to do with the setting, what it looked like where the click beetle lived. The middle part of the story is going to be about the characters, who was in the story. Remember the different animals that the click beetle met while he was walking along trying to flip? And then the end of the story is going to be kind of what the problem was, which hopefully we're thinking, what was the problem? Hopefully you'll remember when I show you a piece. And then what the solution was, what ended up happening, okay? So I'm just going to pick up random pieces, and if you want to copy mine, you can. So I'm going to pick up this piece of grass. Where should the grass go? Beginning, middle, or ending? Where do you think it should go? I think it's a setting. I think it's kind of where the story took place. Let's put it right in there. How about this turtle? Where should the turtle go? He's a character. He was part of the story. Remember when the click beetle met him? How about this guy? This is the wise old click beetle. So even though he met him in the beginning of the story, you can take this piece, you have two beetles on this piece of paper. You can take both beetles, and I'm actually gonna just put them down here because I'm gonna talk about them more at the end of the story, but did the beetles go throughout the story? Yes. So they're considered what? Are they considered setting, character, or the solution? So they're really gonna be characters, but you can move them throughout your story if you'd like, okay? How about this one? This was the problem, wasn't it? Okay, so where's the problem gonna go? Kind of towards the end of the story. So pick up your rocks. Remember the rocks? They're gonna be part of your setting or where the story took place. How about the moon and the stars? You think that's a character? Or you think it was at the end? No, it's gonna be it's gonna be where the story took place. There's rocks at the beginning, it's the setting. We're putting together a little story, a little setting here for where it took place. How about this guy? I'm just picking them up randomly, so if you wanna match them. The flower is gonna go into the setting as well. How about this guy? Little worm that popped out of the hole. Character. Hoping that you're putting them down as you go. How about this one? This is the end. This would be the solution. What was he able to do at the end of the story? He was able to click and flip. And this is the little baby click beetle. And again, even though he goes throughout the story, I'm gonna put him here at the end, okay? How about this one? It's the rat, the mouse. I'm gonna use him for a character, okay? The sun's gonna be part of your setting. Uh-oh, I need a little more room here for my tree. The tree's also gonna be part of your setting. Oops. And then the last one is the snail. The snail's gonna be the character. Good job. So this is what your paper should look like. So what I wanted to do, I don't know if it's gonna be getting too long for you guys, is kind of put them in order. I wanted you to go back, which you can actually do on your own. You can even go back through my story and decide which ones came first. Like, so if I wanted to put these in the order that it happened, I would start by putting the sun came first, remember? And then the flowers came, oops, I'm not even having you see this. The flowers came next. So I could take them all off my storyboard and now start putting them in order of the way they happened in the story, okay? So I'm gonna so many hands here. So let's go to what happened next. It was the flower, the sun, then the rocks, then it was the grass. I'm doing this kind of quickly, but you guys can definitely go through the story at home, rewind me reading, the moon and the tree. So those are all the things now how they happened in order. So I like to do these three things separate sometimes. When there's a lot of pieces to sequence a story together, I like to separate them. Then let's go back and think if we can remember. It would be good, if I was with you, of course, I would probably have you sit without looking at the story, think of what the order was that everything went in. So same thing with the animals and the characters in the story. What order did they go in? So I like you to think first, and then I like you to go back and check, okay? So the worm came first. The next one that came was going to be the turtle. He's already there. And then the snail, and then the mouse, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to see if you can line these all up on your board, okay? And then at the ending of the story, you can even just leave this one like this. It was Remember that the problem was going to be that the click beetle was so afraid of being stepped on or this boy getting him. So the wise click beetle is like, you can do it, you can do it. And he does it, and he flips, okay? All right, so this would be sequencing your story. Hopefully you enjoyed having a paper at home that you could work on or color or put together. And like I said, if you want to go back and listen to the story again, you can obviously do that. So we have another cute little thing to go with this, and that is going to be from Miss Ellen. So she is going to be making a cute little caterpillar with you. So Click Beetle wasn't so much fun, so Miss Ellen, of course, thought of a caterpillar to make to go with this story too, and it's adorable. You will absolutely love it. So enjoy, and I will see you again next week. Be healthy, stay happy. I love having the sun out, so hopefully you do too. Love you guys. Bye.